Alright, check this out. I just wanted to share with you guys that I was working on this tonight. How to wire up a three-way switch. And the reason I actually want to make this video is not because I'm giving you a fancy tutorial on how you should be able to do it, but what I ran into doing it. Okay, this is the first three-way switch I've ever wired up. The concept is super easy, but what I expected to find when I opened the box was a red wire or a marked wire of some sort that told me, you know, this is your additional lead. Well, I didn't get that. What I have is a white wire and two black wires. Okay. On the switch, what I have is a gold screw, a black screw, and a gold screw. Now, this black screw was mistaken early on for a silver screw. So I defaulted to what I know from just wiring up receptacles, which is black is your hot lead, silver is your white wire. So when I took these receptacles out of the wall, the old ones, I just unhooked the wires real quick, so that'll be easy. I'll just slap it back together. Well, I put it back together and it was wrong, didn't work. So what I'd done the first time was I hooked the white wire to the silver lead and then a black wire to each of my gold leads, because that's what you would do with a receptacle. And of course that didn't work. So then I got to looking online, found a video where he showed, you know, he was using a red wire, so he had, you know, some 14.3 and some 14.2. But what the contractor did that built my house, they just used, instead of using a red wire, they just used another piece of 14.2. And they just used a black and a white. So what it turns out is that I have a black and a white wire that are my commons, or my extra leads, whatever, and then I have a black lead in. In his video, he mentioned you should have a black screw or sometimes a silver screw, and that's what tipped me off. I have the black screw. However, in his video, he said that what you should have is a single pole up top and then dual poles on the bottom, and he said your dual poles should be your two commons, but that's not my case. My case is one's common up here, one common on the back down here, and this one is my hot lead. So after thinking it over for a while, I finally figured it out and wired this thing up. I switched the wires, switched them. Finally thought about it while I was out doing some shopping, came home, and I was like, I got it. Swapping around, and it worked. So ultimately what you have is I had to look at my box and I had to figure out which one of these two black wires was my main power wire. And I figured that out just by looking at which one had, I looked at which black wire was coming into the box and separated from its white wire. So you have you have two 14.2 wires that come in here, two sets of 14.2 cable. One of them has a white wire that splits off and goes to a common, see it tucked back in here in the shadows, where a bunch of white wires are all twisted together. And the black off of that one comes to my outlet, or comes to my switch. The other 14.2 has the black and the white both come to my switch, so that's what tipped me off, is the 14.2 wire that has both wires coming to my switch. That's my jumpers. So, that being said, I took my black wire that was coming from the power supply, hooked it to the black screw, took my white and my black jumpers, hooked them to the proper copper screws, wired it all up. It finally worked. And so then I had to come over, of course I had to do both switches like that before it would work, but came over, did the same thing on this one, fired it up, and everything worked great. So again, I just wanted to share that with you guys, not because I'm a professional electrician, not because I'm trying to teach you DIY, but just because it's something a little bit different. And you know, most of the videos you find, the diagrams you find, they're all going to say one of the wires should be marked, or it should be red, or it should have tape on it, you know, something to tell you that it's a common. But I didn't run into that. So just wanted to share this with you guys. Hopefully if you run in the same situation like me, now you know what to do.